So the situation that you were in currently, Forbidden Door happening on Sunday, you and Tanahashi, talk to me about the circumstances of this and the opportunity for you to be the first ever two-time AEW world champion.
A lot of stuff with me, over the years is being the right guy at the right place at the right time, circumstance. And that's just how it goes sometimes. You got to be ready to seize those opportunities. Very rarely in my career has it been like, okay, he's the guy we're going with.
You mean like when you were WWE champion?
That's a good example. Yeah. It's never been like, okay, he's the guy we're going with. We got this all planned out. He's our guy. Let's do it. Only time that ever happened, okay, this is our guy. This is his time. This is his moment. 30 seconds later, there's a global pandemic. And we can't even put people in the buildings. I'm the literal definition of a champion who can't put butts in seats. Because we're not allowed to have butts in the seats,
Yeah.
So this is a different thing. But I mean, Tanahashi, he's one of the guys, my New Japan match that I watched like a million times that kind of got obsessed with the newer era of New Japan was I watched in developmental all the time with Tanahashi and Suzuki. I remember having a little DVD player in the locker room with guys, like Juice and Seth and whoever was in FCW at the time, and you got to watch this match, check this out, and stealing some of the spots on the little FCW house shows, and I ended up never thought I'd get to wrestle Suzuki, and he seemed like that was on a different planet, and I was doing this thing over here, but just a big fan. Our paths crossed. We've wrestled a bunch of times. He's one of my great rivals now, but I've never wrestled Tanahashi. Well, we wrestled in a 4-way. That was pretty dope in Washington a few weeks back. It's the only time, and just us facing off had a really good energy. Because it's supposed to happen a few different times. And he was kind of always the, I could see him in the distance. I always talk about big game hunting in New Japan. Going after, they got 1 million belts. Who gives a shit about the belts? I'm going for the names and their reputations, all these legends I've got to wrestle from New Japan. It's pretty crazy when you think about it.
Honestly.
When you look at the body of work of... When you look at the body of work of Ishii, Suzuki, Nagata, Kojima, it's pretty crazy. And I've got to share the ring with all of them. But Tanahashi's still out there, almost like the final guy, and it's been eluding me for whatever reason. I was talking to Tony on the phone the other day, and he's like, this is the thing about, now that there's a relationship and a lot of it gets out of my hands, and I'm not going back and forth between New Japan and AEW. And they're just talking on their own. It's a lot easier for me, less stress, because I can just go, oh, y'all talk about it. But then stuff can happen without your knowledge behind your back. And then Tony's on the phone with me. He's like, I'm glad I stopped that match from happening so many times. And I kind of knew a little bit about that, but I didn't realize to the degree that he had gone to stop that match from happening. Wow. And I was like, that actually pisses me off, man. I don't find that funny.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing with you, man. But it doesn't matter because I'm like, that's my match. And it seems very meant to be. And of course it is. It just seems like that was the universe's plan all along. To me, Tanahashi, the guy who coined Forbidden Door, and the guy who was basically bridging the gap between the two forever. It just makes all the fucking sense in the world. And just for me personally, just wrestling Tanahashi feels very just the journey I've been on just for the last 3 years with everything. Everything that from what I was 3-4 years ago as a wrestler, as a performer, the headspace I was in, the transformation that I've kind of been able to make, and what I saw myself as being 3 years ago when I was hurt and realized I was making a change and leaving, you know, like to now it almost feels like this is like the final step in some kind of transformation. You know, this is the ace.
Yeah.
That's more important than any of these 200 belts we got between these two companies. You know, like he's the ace. This is like the final exam.
Mm-hmm.
You beat him, you know. So that it, for me personally, you know, it's just nobody else exists in the world except me and Tanahashi. There'll be however many thousand people there, sold out house at United Center, 2 rosters, 2 companies, people watching on TV, whatever. Like, to me, this is about me and Tanahashi.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about me and my personal shit, you know. And you know, I guess being sober is a part of that too, you know, like getting that negative part out of my life, becoming a father, all this change and transformation and everything, you know. And now I got to step in the ring with the ace, you know.
Yeah.
So it's pretty heavy, you know. It's pretty heavy now.
It's funny for me even hearing these things because of course I know these things because we talk when these microphones are not in front of our faces, but hearing it like kind of in all that context as we're like, you know, rehashing what this last year has looked like, all of the ups, all of the downs, personally, professionally, all of those things, to know for you on this like professional level, like how much of that really culminates with this match is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And then right after that, jump right into Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a war of epic proportions with the Jericho Appreciation Society and my friends in Eddie and the Blackpool Combat Club and so forth. So, and then I'm going to be in a cage match fighting to the death days later in a completely separate issue, you know. So
oh my God.
balancing all that is, you know, to be asked to balance that as a performer is I mean, I'm not gonna call it easy, but I'm not gonna call it hard. I don't know, but it's something I can do.
Yeah,
and I'm being asked to do, and I enjoy the responsibility of it. You know.
Oh yeah.